GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With Apple Green, brightening your day. Now, bringing over 400 M&S food favourites to make every stop tastier.
I've just only copped what it was you were talking about with your American slang there.
What do you mean?
When you were talking about juice and all.
Oh, dropping the juice. Yeah, that's what Americans say. Instead of all you need to do, go to the poop.
Right.
Not that any Irish people say, I need to go to the poop.
I know, it's just... It's what was weird about it was that
I don't know what it means.
I don't know why I didn't cop the fact that juice, as in like DEU or DE.
Oh, DEUCE or whatever.
As in two. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, is that what it comes from? Is that what it means?
Yeah.
I have to drop a juice means I have to drop a number 2.
Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
Well, that's what I thought you meant.
I always knew the word. I didn't know what it meant. I just thought it was a synonym for the number poo.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Now I'm confused. I thought
you're right, I'd say.
Juice, as
in... No, I'd say you're right, yeah.
Although not... Like a juice, number 2 was... it, like,
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just never knew. You've educated me.
Wow.
And I not often... Jim knows more about the toilet than I would. You know? Yeah. He doesn't spend even half the amount of time in there that some of us do, let me tell you. The Jim, he'd be in there. LT foul bum, I'd be calling him. I don't know how he can get it done so fast. And he as clean as anything I've ever seen.
Is it not meant to be bad for you to spend too long at the Jacks?
I don't care. I don't care.
You know who told me that?
It's good for me.
Here's a ridiculous thing, right? Because... you know the way everybody has an opinion on something.
Everyone's full of it, yeah.
As you often say, like, if you're going to get a medical opinion, get it from a medical professional.
Get it from a medical professional. Right. Yes, exactly. Always.
Not bro science or not whatever.
Yeah, unless it suits you.
Something off the internet.
Yeah.
But here's the thing now, right? My belief around the idea that you shouldn't spend too long in the toilet, that you should be like, one and done or whatever it is, get in, get out, whatever it is.
What does that even mean? One and done.
Believe it or not, came from Phil Jupitus.
Oh, well, there you go, yeah. A comedian on the radio. What? When's the last time a comedian on the radio ever made any sense?
We were interviewing Phil Jupitus, right? For something he was doing, a stand-up show or something he was doing over here. And I don't know, before the conversations of whatever it was, there was some joke thing made, and he came out with this thing as though he knew it in a knowledgeable way.
Yeah. He does a bit of that though, doesn't he? He tries to portray himself as quite intelligent sometimes.
Yes,
he does that.
And that stayed with me ever since. So literally, my medical assumption that it's bad for you to sit in the Jacks for too long comes from Phil Jupitus.
Amazing that, isn't it? Honestly, I'm serious. I'm right on this. A comedian told me on the radio. What better source? It's still a better source than something you see on Facebook, I suppose, or anything like that, yeah.
Yeah. And in fairness, Phil Jupitus, all due respect to you, Phil, looks like a man that's walked away from a queer shite in his time.
Woo!
Do you know what I mean?
Harsh now. Well, thank God you'll never hear this. But but I know what you mean. Any sort of medical advice like that, though, you're right. And I do think we both have a point in that, like we say, go to a medical professional if you want medical advice. And then you go to a medical professional and you say, come here, these idiots are after telling me, right, that I'm contributing to my blood pressure being too high because I eat 4 ice creams every day. And then the doctor says, well, they're right. And you go, do you know what fucking idiot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to find the right doctor who agrees with me.
Yeah, you've obviously heard that.
I'm going to find the right doctor, a good doctor, who can look at me and say, I have... an allergy to healthy food, and that I'm going to just have to keep doing what I'm doing and hope for the best. You
know the way that doctors have that code, that oath thing they do about do no harm.
Do no harm. Yeah,
that effectively ends up turning into kind of like it's a bit. It makes everything a bit vanilla, doesn't it?
Blackmail.
Because they turn around and they kind of have to, they just go with whatever is sort of eat your vegetables. And red meat, very bad, very bad. But
this is, so you had this recently. You went for your checkups. Jim goes for his checkups because he's, an intelligent person and wants to make sure.
I thought you were going to go for the old gag there, because let's face it, you know what I mean. He needs to know how long he has left.
He's an intelligent person who knows that at his age he has to count the days. He has to count the days. He knows.
More like it. That's more like it.
He knows it's probably more like double figures than triple. So he has to make sure. So, how much what he's going to get out of it. So he went to the doctor, they do all his tests, the whole lot. And at the end, he did the whole sitting down. How am I doing, doctor? And, you said there was 2, wasn't there? There was one doctor or one person that went, and I don't know whether she had got the results mixed up or she had a few jars on her or whatever. But she said, this is unbelievable. You're doing very well.
Said, look, yeah, great. Now, because it was a comparison to 3 years ago, whenever the last one was there. So that was all great.
And Jim went in, he was jarred and everything that day. He rode in on the horse.
But yeah, so that was all grand, and it was that's very good. God, you must have really
Must have,
overhauled.
yeah.
Whatever, right? It was all positive, and then you go into the consultant,
And then you went
person,
into the other person.
and literally, they go. It's like anything that is even remotely borderline.
And she was just like, I don't know.
It's like, like we'd prefer if it was literally even stuff that your woman, the other one had turned around and said, that's very good now,
Yeah.
that's well within the range and all.
Oh, but well within the range,
the other one is going, we'd like it to be a bit lower, and whatever. And
Says it's totally within the range of being perfect and all. But you know yourself,
Yeah.
I just think it looks a bit shit.
And like the last time you had a thing, might be no harm just to. Will I send you a consultant?
Yeah.
Honestly, it feels sometimes like it's a sell.
Yeah. You're just being upsold,
Yeah.
a liver
And-
test.
And you go, and they, oh man, I tell you something, I'm amazed farmers, right?
Yeah.
I'm amazed farmers. I'm not encouraging this at all, but particularly beef farmers, right? I'm amazed they haven't had some sort of campaign against doctors or people in the medical profession.
How do you mean? Why
Because
farmers?
doctors hate meat. Red meat.
Oh, yeah. Well, you
may
get this all the time.
You may as
yeah.
well be telling them that oh no, I do crack cocaine 2 or 3 times a week or whatever it was.
What you have for dinner last night? I ate a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
I ate a pack of
Grand,
cigarettes,
that's
yeah.
grand, yeah,
well,
yeah,
at least
yeah.
it wasn't.
At least it wasn't a burger.
Yeah, because them burgers, I tell you, they were, I'd say,
They
yeah.
absolutely hate red meat.
It's I don't really. I suppose I never get that far with a doctor.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean you never get that far?
Well, I don't know. I'd save up so many problems they have. There's only so much they can fit in, Like you go in to the doctor and you walk in and you're like, I have this thing. Could you test? I actually don't even have a thing. Just it's been a previous problem, and I was told to get to do the test. They go, oh, jeez, that's all right, yeah. Yeah, stay off red meat, whatever. Whereas I go in and they say, what's going on? I say, right, we've a lot to get through. Right, we've a fucking lot to get through now today. Right, we'll start at the bottom and we'll work north.
Right.
You mean the feet, my ankles, and then I have this. I have a quivering knee, and then I don't know why you keep having an itch there. And then there's a scout. Right, if you lift up the areas there, there's a rash going on there. And then my stomach keeps hurting me all the time. If I do that, and I make some movement, she go, why are you doing that? I don't, because if I don't do it, then I get a strain up here. And then my arm, my knee, don't even get me started on my elbows.
Yeah.
So she never gets quite an amount of time to go, stay off the red meat,
Yeah.
She never gets that far. It's always like, why? What are you doing to yourself? I don't know, it'll just be,
Wow. So you just wear them down. You run out of time to. They're like
you have to save up your price. You see, you're not a man for value. You want to stay alive. I want a bargain. So it's you have to save up. I know he said it before, but you save up your problems and all that.
Yeah. And
Like, what's the point of going to a cardiologist with one heart problem? You need.
I know they have to be cautious, right? They can't be flippant about it and go, she'll be grand. I get that bit, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, and this is, you immediately came into my head when it happened, right? They do part of this whole head to toe thing is your ears, right?
Yeah.
And so naturally, right? So a woman does
See,
it.
there
right?
he's so much time going to the doctor. They fit in an ear test. It's amazing.
So it's just because of the time you went. That's what it's made it. Anyway,
Yeah.
So and they do it, and immediately, right? They go for the. It's dropped a bit since last time.
Yeah.
So they go for now. It's still within perfect range for your age.
Yeah,
all.
you're
normal.
Yeah.
But they don't go.
You're not hard of hearing or need.
Exactly. So they don't turn around and start with that going, listen, it's well within range, it's for your age and all, so it's nothing to worry about. It's a bit lower than the last time, understandable. They never say it that way.
No.
They look at it with a sort of slight squinty thing and go, it's dropped a bit since last time. Like as in, yeah, well, to be honest with you, there's lots of me that
Lots
has
of
dropped
drops
a bit.
down.
Lots of me has dropped a bit since the last
You're
time.
like, you want to see me tits? Me man tits, they've dropped as well. Everything goes south after a certain age,
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Stop picking on me. And you're right though, because you did it, you got it bang on, right? Normal, accepted, brilliant, perfect range, and it's just gone down a bit within the range of what is more than acceptable,
Yeah.
And
so they may as well turn around and go,
and all
it's
just
not as good as a
perfect.
20-year-old. Well,
you're like,
obviously
well,
it's
of course it's not. I'm 76 or whatever you are.
I'm fucking 57.
Well, okay, grand, same weight, around, whatever. Whereas I went in,
Yeah.
and they were much nicer to me about it because mine was bollocksed. And it shouldn't be that way,
Yours was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Not for you, granted.
It wasn't for
but
me.
For the rest of us.
My God. Yeah, I did, like we were talking about, I went for the ear test, and he says, have you ever had ear test before, whatever? No. Have you ever had hearing devices? No. Have you had this before? No. They ask you a load of questions. Have you ever had an implant? No. And then I did the test, and after the test, everyone was really quiet. And
were they quiet, or did you just not hear them?
Might have been. And then he goes, "Did you really not hear? I'll just ask you these questions again." He goes. He says, "Yeah, you haven't been." He said, now he's louder. "You haven't been to. And no." He goes, "You've never had an implant, or you've never been advised." He went through it all again. I said, "No, never." And he goes, "Right, because you're quite hard of hearing, especially on one side." I was there. Yeah. And he was very nice about it to me. Whereas your doctor, when you were totally perfect, just goes, you're not 20 years old, are you? You fucking, kid.
It's weird.
Whereas your man, to me, I suppose he was looking at me, then he told me it's $6,000 for a set of headphones. I was going, what are they called? Headphones? Headphones for the deaf. What are they called? Hearing aids?
I don't care. Never again. Well, I will never call them hearing aids. They will forever, ever be headphones for the deaf. That's fantastic. I'm thinking of doing a new of a business idea, right? I'm looking for you, Bob, to get this off the ground, right? Okay, right. What is it? Headphones for the deaf. Sorry. Okay. Jeez, for a minute there, I thought you said headphones for the deaf. I did. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. Well, then he told me the earphones. What am I saying? Hearing aids. He said they'd be like $6,000. He said. I was there. Oh no, here I'll stay. I'm going to stay hard of hearing.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, the chart. And he showed me the chart. Where he shows you the line.
Yeah.
And he goes, this just looks like a graph to you. But if you put something on the line, everything above that line is in the normal range, and everything below it, and you want to see, it was nearly all below it, bar a couple of peaks and troughs. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. But very nice about it. But then I suppose there was potential to earn a few grand off me,
I do think there's an element of the sell, especially in the the private,
especially that business.
You know what I mean? It's like if you go with an ailment and you find out an ailment or whatever, that what's the cause of it or how do I fix it? That's one thing. But when you sort of go what's the general picture here? And there's nothing that they go, oh God, we better that's a whatever. It's just sort of it feels like somebody's that in the canteen, some lad who's in charge of livers went up and said, come here, listen,
it's a bit quiet.
I'm after getting a new car, right?
Any chance?
You wouldn't send a few, just a few kind of things, just a few livers my way.
Yeah, and she goes,
no problem. There's a fucking lad who looks a bit chubby on the way in.
I'll send him up your way.
Yeah.
He'd be a while though. I'm sending him up to get some headphones for the deaf and some spectacles for the blind. So he might be a while. Be into you after lunch, I'd say, at this stage, But I'm sending him around. I'm getting to do the rounds. Yeah.
Especially when there's things that you never think about yourself ever having. You know what I mean? It was never a problem for you. Right.
Yeah, well, until it is.
It might be a struggle for you to consider that.
I can't. I'm just thinking of my whole body and going, what hasn't been a problem?
But it'd be like if somebody turned around and said, geez, I'm not happy with your calves or something or whatever. Yeah. And you'd be going, what?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Doctor goes, see the curvature of your calf there. That's a sign that you could have strenulitis. Like, what's strenulitis? Oh,
that's what I mean. There's times they come out with that.
And you're like, really?
Or else they do that thing of the way they're mad into family history.
Oh yeah. And I never have it,
But it's so mad. It's like mad. It's how far back do you want to go? You know what I mean? Oh well, in the 1800s, my great grandfather he had a touch of asthma.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we better get you to a lung specialist.
We'll get you to the lung specialist because I don't know. Is there a history of strenulitis in your family? No, I don't know. And you're like,
better to be safe.
Yeah, better to be safe. And well, there's they said that me ancestor was either killed by Oliver Cromwell or he died of a mystery illness. That could have been strenulitis. I think, okay, well, that's enough for me. In for a test, you know.
Yeah.
Better to err on the side of caution. Is it though? Is it really, you know? And
Because
what's the worst thing that can happen to strenulitis? Well, you could get a pain in your knees if you bend down too fast. You're like, I'll live with it, you know, I'll live with it, yeah.
Because I do sometimes think, now don't get me wrong, I think it's a good thing. I do it because you do want somebody to kind of say
Tell
to
you you're all right.
Yeah, and to say to you,
exactly,
listen,
of course you do. It's a good idea.
It's early doors, but that looks a bit, I might just...
Keep an eye on it.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
So I get it.
But not now.
I know I'm slagging off a little bit of that. Or whatever.
Yeah,
because you know, it's just it does sometimes feel like a bit of a sell, and then other times it does feel a little bit like a slightly better version than Dr. Google.
Because it's a real doctor for a start.
Yeah, which is slightly better, but it still feels a little bit like, well, now look, it could be nothing, but it could be.
Yeah. Or else, do you ever go into a doctor, right, and you say to them, you go, you're thinking to yourself, I go in and hopefully it's something small. We'll just do something small. I won't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And whatever it is. And you go into the doctor and they go, yeah, you are right. Yeah, there is a little something there, but there's nothing to worry about. And you go, brilliant. So what do I do? And they say, you have to wear these, they're like tights in bed every night. Pressure tights. And you pull them on. Just pull them up. Not all the way up. Just underneath your man boobs there over your belly. Just wear them in bed every night. And you're thinking to yourself,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Not doing it.
And they're like, that's it. It's as simple as that, you know. You just pull them on, and you'll be absolutely grand. Like you'll never feel the symptoms.
Yeah.
You can carry on with your life as normal. You're like,
as normal.
And how am I going to meet? How am I going to? What am I going to do? I'm going to go home now and show these to me, Mrs. Emmy. Me pressure tights.
Yeah.
And what do I do for a slash? There's a flap. Don't worry. There's a pressure flap. You know, but you go, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I know it's going to improve the quality of my life.
I have to say,
I'm not doing it.
I have a touch of that as well.
Yeah, I
There's
do,
certain
honestly.
things where somebody goes,
And you say, you
should make
don't
an
even say to the
appointment.
doctor, you go, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But how much are they? 50 quid. You're like, oh, no, that's going to be some waste of 50 quid.
yeah.
But yeah.
I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, and then you go, yeah,
There's
grand.
a few of them that you walk out and they, you know, if they leave it up to you. It's one thing if they say, right, I'm giving you a referral to this or whatever.
Yeah.
But if they leave, look, you might just maybe think about, you know, going to whatever, or maybe think about seeing a
Have it, yeah,
second.
think it
the
over.
classic is, you know, maybe see a dietitian about it or something. Nobody ever fucking does that.
Not doing that.
Nobody ever does
What
that.
do you tell me to do? What am I with pressure tights on? Talking to a dietitian about what's the best practice when eating a burger. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I know I came in to find out if I'd be sick, but I'd actually rather be sick. The cure is worse than the problem now at this point, as far as I'm concerned, you know.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do? Imagine going into the Jackson Hole. I'm going for a slash. Where are you? Are you going into the cubicle? Are you going for a Putin? No, I just have to take down my pressure tights. You know, you're there. I'm not. You know, I'd have to be in a much worse way.
Yeah.
I'd have to be fairly bad now before I'd be doing these things.
Yeah,
You know?
before the pressure tights come out.
Yeah. And they act and they talk to you as if it's totally normal. So lots of men are wearing pressure tights now. Are they? Yeah. Who? Do you have their names? Because I'd be getting a phone call from me if I know any of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's terrible, I know.
It
It's
is.
terrible. It's just
I don't
a
know.
stupid stigma, but that you put on
Yeah.
yourself.
But I do wonder sometimes about what is meant to be. That, like, has there ever been a situation where a doctor or whatever has ever turned around and went, grand? You know, looked at it, grand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's always, if you look for it, there's always going to be something where you could go, well, look at it. I mean, okay, you know, perfection would be that.
Yeah, and also, like, you get to an age where they always want to see everything. So you go in with a sore hand, right?
Yeah.
And they go, show us the other one. You're like, what? No, that's why. Because I want to see the other one. Why do you want to see the other one? That's not the sore one. You know, I remember a doctor telling me a farmer hurt himself and he went in and he says, I'm hurt my foot. And he shows your foot and says, take off your other shoe and so show us stuff. And he goes, no, because I only washed the one foot. He goes. And he goes, well, I don't mind. He goes, you will. I'm not doing it. Yeah. He says, I'll come back when I've washed the other foot another time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no. And you know, and you get these, and then you're like, what's stuff that's completely not related? You're like, okay, so you've hurt your arm, your elbow, did you? Yeah. Okay, undo your trousers there and we'll check your prostate. Why? Why are we doing that? Well, they don't do that anymore. It's just a blood test
No,
now,
they
isn't
do.
it?
Oh, no, they
But
do.
it's just a blood test, isn't it now?
No. There's over a certain age they do what they call a physical exam or a physical.
I thought it was
whatever.
just a blood test nowadays.
No, it's up to a certain age, and then after that they do it.
So you gotta go in, you go to your dentist. I just need to get a filling here, right? Drop your strides, we'll have a check, make sure. Your age, can't be too careful. You're like, really?
But I mean,
He says, I can't.
My
Why not?
prostate isn't going to be giving me a pain to be tooth.
And dentists will be there going, go on, just say it's not to be. You'd be like, have me pressure tights on. I'll never get them off. I didn't think that's what was happening.
You should give me a bit of warning.
Yeah, how am I supposed to? Yeah, they're on their third day. They're not clean.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Anyway, well, I tell you, in future, what we'll have to do is, right, when we go to anything like that, we'll go together, right? We'll go as a pair.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'll give me the option of then. The best part of that for me would be if they look at any of my results and they go, yeah, I mean, look, it's grand, but it's, maybe just slightly on the slightly higher side, and I'll go, yeah, I know, but look at him.
Look at him. He's literally like somebody. He's like a medical issue, covered itself in super glue and rolled around in a fucking skip.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
With Apple Green, helping you enjoy a better journey. Now offering hundreds of M&S food favourites on the go.
Radio Nova.
Once the topic, I suppose, of science fiction, the idea of being frozen to the point where you could kind of like stay, in a state of cryogenic
hypersleep, maybe you might call it, would you?
Look, that's a great... God, I could do with some of that. God, what I'd give for a hypersleep.
You had one last night. That's long as you've been asleep for years, isn't it? Oh, no, you said you had 9 hours on Saturday.
Saturday night.
9 hours? That's normally what he gets in a week.
I was in bed at 9 o'clock on Saturday night.
And you had
I may or may not have been. But anyway,
whatever you did, it worked for you.
Enough about that. Carry on. Anyway, once, as I say, part of the whole science fiction world, the idea of cryogenics, being frozen and being able to stay in this kind of stasis where you could, exist for hundreds of years and then be brought back or something.
Suspended animation, they call it. Yeah, and it might be that one.
It's getting closer.
It is. It's getting 1 in 4 chance now. They're saying of it actually happening, that you'll be able to have some sort of cryopod, is it cryogenics they call it? Yeah, cryopod, where you would be, maybe you hit a point in your life where you're not altogether well. Maybe you're in a bad mood and they just put you into this thing for a couple of 100 years for you to chill out, literally chill out. But when they reckon they'll be able to, they're working on it. They think it's becoming more and more feasible that you can go into this thing, be frozen, and then be brought back at a later date. Maybe when they find a cure, maybe when you chill out, maybe when science just moves forward that little bit. And they say now the biggest obstacle, or one of the big obstacles, is more the ethics of it. It's becoming that real that they think it's the ethics of it now we have to think about.
Yeah. Because there is meant to be, bring people back? I suppose if you believe in the theory of sort of natural selection and stuff, because otherwise it's like if everybody's constantly being made better from all their ailments, you're going to end up with a very lot of people at some point in the world.
Yeah, and that's only physical, Jim.
Yeah.
People aren't thinking about the social. Like you look at you and me now. I find it very difficult to know what young people are talking about. Imagine me in 250 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in trouble. You'd be walking around and you say, I went down the spa, it was aliens after serving me. People going, you can't call them aliens. It's disgraceful.
Yes.
You're like, well, whatever you call them.
Otherworldly beings.
Otherworldly beings. Yeah, well, I don't know that. I did my best. I'm doing my best with the information that I have. I'm a man out of time.
Can I just point out that this is all, don't get me wrong, I understand that technology it can only go as fast as it can go, but it's all a bit late for us. What's the point of me being frozen now in the state I'm in now?
I know.
Why, if they'd done it, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was, in my prime.
When you were only in your 50s.
Shut up. Then it would have been fantastic.
No,
but now, why would you want to go in with your...
right.
Look at you. Imagine freezing you with your dicky feet and your dodgy waterworks and your all the bits of stuff that happened to you and your,
I know you're actually right. I know what you're saying. If you are frozen in your 20s or 30s and then they unfrozen you, thawed you out and brought you back, you'd be like, the possibilities, the potential. I'll now be able to see I live in the future. I'm now 300 years old and I'm vibrant and I'm in still the prime of my life, where one of us, they'd bring us back and they'd be like,
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what is it?
I've had to be in that same position for 300 years.
I'll be back.
I mean, because, I have to sort me back out when I get up out of bed in the mornings.
Yeah.
You have to get that. Bloody. So, 300 years in a cryogenic pod.
Yeah. Oh, David. Yeah.
My knees will be funny or something.
Knees, I haven't moved my leg. My legs are asleep. I got pins and needles.
Like the drive in to here from home. I get out, having sat in the car, I'm kind of like,
I know, that's what happens, isn't it? You know when you have to when you're waiting for something to microwave and you have to swing your legs in case they go dead when you're standing up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I really fancy it. You know, being
to be
around
fair,
3 or 4
I suspect we're
years.
not prime candidates for
I
it.
doubt it. I think you're right. I'd say that we would be looking for younger specimens. But then again, you know, we're probably closer to the big sleep than they are. So we might be prime candidates for it, you know. We might just be. They might be saying there's no point in sending good young fellas who have got, have got plenty of actual real good lives right now in the here and now ahead. Let's send these crocs and see if there's any way of reviving them and fixing them in the future.
I understand now why they think there's an ethical problem. That would be a hell of a gift to give to the future world, wouldn't it? A load of cranky middle-aged lads suddenly being unfrozen and unleashed on a future society.
It's just what the future needs, isn't it?
I'll tell you, wasn't like that in my day. Just all of that.
All of that, the whole lot. Spaceships.
What are you doing with that? That must cost you a fortune to run, doesn't it?
Flying cars, me eye. I used to cycle with my bare feet and all. I had shoes, I just didn't want to wreck them. You just take everything for granted.
Glory Days. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With Apple Green, helping you enjoy a better journey. Now offering hundreds of M&S food favourites on the go.
I didn't see this one coming, but I do love it. Carlo has come out with a great claim. Carlo Met people, I suppose. Not Carlo Weather, I don't know who it is. But they've said, Carlo, hotter than Monte Carlo. So stick that in your face. It's like a direct attack on a very different Carlo. It's like saying, Carlo, apparently they hit 28 degrees, a record May temperature recorded in Carlo, and now they're saying higher than your Carlo. Monte Carlo has nothing on us. We knew we'd get you one day.
Wow.
There you go, 1-0.
That's such a great comparison, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
The Carlo elements, spelled differently, obviously, but that's not the point.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like Monte Carlo. My Carlo is better than that.
Isn't it? Yeah, it really is. It's so direct and it's so
and also
as if Monte Carlo have ever heard of Carlo. That's the other problem there, right?
And the thing about it is, Monte Carlo, obviously fabulous place, you know, south of France and everything and all that, and glorious weather, I'm sure, loads. But it's not one of those kind of like, it's not like your Ibiza or your whatever.
No, it's not a famous
It's a very
spot.
Specific kind of spot, isn't it? To go for.
It's just it sounds like them. You know.
And Monte Carlo is probably famous for a lot of other things other than the sunshine.
Yeah, there's no Carlo royal family or anything.
That we know of.
Seriously,
if there's anybody listening to us in Carlo at the moment and you've got a royal family that we didn't realise,
then we apologise profusely.
Do please let us know.
If there's a Carlo King, we'd love to hear from them.
You know, now that we're on DAB right around the country, they can get us in every nook and cranny of the country. So, you know, people of Carlo, have we been misled? Is there a Carlo royal family?
Is there a monarch of Carlo, a queen of Carlo?
Also, is Carlo a renowned gambling den?
Depends on which shop you go into, I suppose, doesn't it? You know, I just love that they're bragging. It's kind of like, you know, the way, what is it? Alicante has been called the Ballymun in the sun. You know?
That's it.
Yeah, you never hear that, Ballymun in the sun. And it's as if real
Alicante.
Yeah, or Santa Ponza or whatever.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
You know, you pick one of them. Ballymun in the sun. It's as if, imagine real Ballymun going, better than Ballymun in the sun. 26 degrees. You're all idiots over there. Shower of losers you are going over to Ballymun in the sun when the real Ballymun has it going on better than that.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't even get a cornetto. Well, you can get a cornetto. You can't even get a 99 out the back of a van, maybe. Over there, and you can't hear. It's so directly competitive.
I also think it's fantastic to think that there might be somebody in Monte Carlo who'd be
raging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there would be.
No.
But it would be great to think that there's somebody going around. I can't believe that. Oh my God, how embarrassing.
Yeah.
Carlo's hotter than us.
Yeah, Duke Frederique. What is this? I cannot believe it. I don't know why he's speaking like that.
Getting out of his Ferrari.
Yeah. I'm leaving this place. I'm mortified. Yeah.
What nationality is Duke Frederico? Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Well, he's watching a lot of Italian TV. Ads for Gino Giannelli's. He watches a lot of ads. Wow. You know,
it does.
Absolutely out of age. This is unbelievable. You know,
it's something we should do at some stages. You know, when people make those heat comparisons,
yeah,
we should compare other aspects of it.
That's it, yeah. Not just the heat.
So
you're right,
if Carlo ticks the box and having now beaten Monte Carlo, what an accolade, beaten Monte Carlo. You know, what else?
What else? You know,
we
also have better garlic bread.
Ferraris per quarter mile.
Yeah, Ferraris per quarter mile. If you're in Tullow, there's a fella there has 2 on the same acre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell you so, yeah.
Rich
farmer.
What do you think of that, Duke Frederico, with your Gino Giannelli's accent, you big thick?
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
With Apple Green, helping you enjoy a better journey. Now offering hundreds of M&S food favourites on the go.
Radio Nova.
How you can spot an idiot in your workplace.
Yeah.
It's easily done, you know.
Easily done. All you need is a bit of blue sky thinking, you know. All you have to do is batten down the hatches and look around, you know.
Really?
See the wood from the trees. That's all you have to do, Jim.
That's the way to spot an idiot, is it?
Because they say the least intelligent people are the ones that use the most office jargon.
Right.
The people who are least good at their job, you know. The old term, you can't BS a BSer.
Right.
Turns out to be quite wrong, actually, because you can. You can be really, really good at corporate jargon, not very good at your job, and get on kind of all right, you know.
So it's proof of the old fake it till you make it kind of thing, isn't it? It's like...
Well, fake it until you make it and then just keep faking it because you don't know how to do it anyway, and you never will. So it's fake it all the time.
Continual faking.
Yeah.
The ultimate bluffer's guide. Remember there used to be a whole series of books about how you... Like the bluffer's guide to whatever.
Yeah.
So it would give you... It probably would give you literally the kind of jargon you need to do to make somebody think that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? So you don't just say, I'll talk to them for you. Say, I'll use a bit of leverage there. You know, all these things, you know.
Use a bit of leverage.
Yeah. You know,
crowbar, is it?
I won't say I'm going to talk to the customer. You say a bit of active stakeholder engagement is needed at this point in time, I think.
What?
Well, I'm just saying things.
That's impressive. Active stakeholder engagement.
I think a bit of active stakeholder engagement would be important at this particular time. You know,
that'd be good.
Yeah,
imagine that. Imagine walking in, you know, waiting in line for a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah,
a couple of people behind the counter, and one of them turns to the other and goes, "Sorry, just have to get involved in some active stakeholder engagement here. Yeah. What can I get you?
Oat milk. Oat milk. Do we do that?
Oh,
the stakeholder, the active stakeholder wants to know if there's oat milk. Yeah, and that's it. And they say that if you use a lot of this jargon in the workplace, and I think we all know people that do, the people who scored highest in that they do use the most, so show the signs of the least analytical thinking when it comes to making business decisions. And there's other ways of doing it too. There's like metaphors. A lot of people use metaphors in the workplace that have absolutely nothing at all to do with the situation. We worked with a fellow who used to do that. It was great.
Brilliant.
And no matter whatever, you go into a meeting and instead of saying, okay, I think you two need to focus more on this and that, whatever, they'd say, right, I think I have 2 camels in the North Pole, and one of you has a saddle on, and the other fella is just following, and he doesn't know, and he doesn't like snow. So you've got 2 camels, and you'd get this, and you'd go.
Because what he'd do is he'd go into
a
metaphor or whatever, right? And then he'd realise halfway through it didn't quite match.
Yeah.
So then he'd have to think on his feet and try and adapt a metaphor to, you know.
Yeah. So
there was definitely one, I can't remember what he used it for, but it involved a ship in a bottle.
A ship in a bottle, yeah.
Now,
I want you to see the show like it's a ship in a bottle, right? Now, you can't get into the bottle to make it. You have to use a tool that you stick into the bottle and it pulls it up. And you'd be like going, what's this got to do with a radio show? Yeah. You're like, oh, that's how, you know. So you need a bottle engineer. And then he realises it's not working for him. You go, and it's carried to the shop down by a penguin, right? And you're going, what is happening?
Yeah, because he used to use the footballer one as well, but he couldn't. He couldn't decide on positions.
Yeah,
right.
So Jim, you're like
you're like the goalkeeper. No, actually, you're sort of like a midfielder, right? Well, sort of a midfielder who plays in goal sometimes. Sort of like like last man back, sort of. Like say you're
you've scored a few goals from a corner. That's you, Jim, right? And then the other fella, he's like a drunk referee. And and you would never come out of the meeting. Really entertaining, yeah. I used to love those meetings. Yeah. Because let's face it, I haven't a clue what's going on in the meeting anyway. So I'd much rather hear about...
It was good to know somebody else didn't know what they were talking about
great,
either.
Yeah, I'd much rather hear Jim's reference about Jim doing a bottle engineering course or being a penguin or a camel in the North Pole than I would any other office jargon or meetings. I got a lot of entertainment out of that. At the very least, it was entertaining. You know?
Absolutely. I think we all get a little bit guilty of some stuff. Some phrases do drift in.
They do. Everyone has.
Sometimes you do catch yourself saying something, and it's not. It is a bit office.
You want something to end.
Yeah.
Right. I think we all have a game plan now. I think we can end that there, or you can end it on this.
Yeah.
That'd be me. I'll just use the same one. I think we can end this game plan on that game plan point. I think everyone's game planned to the game plan. And if anyone has any new additions to the game plan,
actually, what we should
perhaps
do is,
they could make it up at the next meeting.
You know the way you like to do your kind of your rugby chat every so often. We
Yeah.
should incorporate that into. We should incorporate that into our meetings going forward.
Yeah.
And you should just use it as though you fully believe it's office jargon.
Absolutely.
And not say it to anybody else.
Yeah.
And literally at the end of a meeting, just go, left leg,
Left
offside.
leg off, free kick, John, whistle 2, up and down the wiggly what's it, 4 men back, free side on, leg rousers. That's it. Good work, gentlemen. See you next week.
Glory Days. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With Apple Green, helping you enjoy a better journey. Now offering hundreds of M&S food favourites on the go.
New job titles are all around the place these days, as you know, with the IT and stuff. There's job titles we've never heard of before starting to become. And then there's also the recategorisation of old jobs, like, I suppose, bin men.
Refuse. What are they?
Waste disposal,
Waste
refuse
disposal.
operatives.
Waste disposal operatives.
I don't know, but it's not. There's different ones, and then there's like in the UK, in the government, they have one particular job title that's called the Director of Infection. So there's a lot of new job titles that didn't exist very, very short time ago.
Yeah.
And with that, it makes you wonder, well, what are the jobs that no longer exist that
God, there must be
previously
loads of
did?
them.
What job titles existed, maybe 100 years ago that we've forgotten about? And some of them I think are worth going back to. There's the bumboat man, which would have been a person who meets the ships at the anchor with goods for the passengers and the crew. The bumboat man.
Bumboat.
The bumboat man, yeah, one word, Bumboit.
Bumboat man.
Yeah, who would go out and he'd give them or sell them some snacks on the boat. We might need a bumboat man tomorrow. We're at sea tomorrow,
Wow.
you and me. Yeah, and then there's the slubberdoffer, who is a person who removed the bobbins from the spindles of mills. Yeah, there's the fish fag. You can't forget about the fish fag. And we might
Should
need
I
one of
ask
those tomorrow.
what the fish fag did?
It's a woman that sells fish.
Right.
Yeah, believe it or not. And then there's the prick Louise, who is a tailor. That's the old name for a tailor, apparently.
Wow.
Back in the day.
It's fair to say language has substantially changed, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
I'm sure this made perfect sense.
Back in the day. Like back in the day.
It's
Nowadays,
just weird to think that Louise, which we associate as a name very much now, a person's name, was obviously sort of a category involved in tailoring.
And nowadays as well, a fella like yourself might think to himself he might like to get himself a wig. Whereas he go to a wig maker or a wigger or whatever they called them now. And then back then you went to a knob tatcher. That's what they were called. Was a knob tatcher was back in the day was what you would go to.
Can I just clarify, were these official names or were these nicknames that people gave?
It says that these are what they have,
Like, would somebody feel comfortable saying, I'm just nipping off to the knob tatcher?
I think they probably would, yeah. Yeah, I think they probably would. That's what I get here. There was a jerker and a streaker. A jerker was a customs house officer who searched the ships, and a streaker was a person who prepared the bodies for burials. Yeah. And then there was a nimgimmer, which was a type of doctor, and a lolly-bolly boy.
A lolly-bolly boy?
Yeah.
Right.
He was a surgeon's assistant, yeah. Yeah, there's great ones. And don't forget a slapper, who was a person who worked in a pottery place preparing the clay for the potter. Was known as a slapper back then, yeah.
These are incredible.
They're great ones,
Surely
aren't they?
they have to be nicknames. That would be, imagine somebody who'd gone through a few jobs back in the day.
Yeah.
That'd be quite a CV to read.
It would
Well,
be.
there was the time I was the lolly jolly boy and then I was the slapper.
Yeah.
Then I went on to become a knob tatcher. Then
I was the
after
bottom
that-
knocker, which was a sagger maker's assistant in the pot. But yeah, I was a bottom knocker then for a while. And then I went on
You
to
just
be
skipped over the fact that there was a sagger maker, whatever that is.
True, yeah. I don't know what that. Yeah, I was worked for the local sagger maker as a bottom knocker. Then I went on to be a bumboat man. For a while there was a shrimp stronger. Believe it or not, that's one too. And then I was a slubber doffer. Yeah. Actually, the slubber doffer days, they were the days. Me and Jim, that was back before Jim was a meat beater. Which he talks about with great fondness back then. And then we were both grim bribbers for a while. Yeah.
That is off the charts.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And that's where we met our favourite sucksmith, who was a person who made ploughshares back in the day. Oh, El Jerry
There
Sucksmith.
doesn't seem to be any correlation between the job and its name.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't seem to be any kind of connection whatsoever.
Not at all.
between it.
You can say anything.
Yeah.
It's like, there's your man, the bar. What's the barman? You say, that's not a barman. That's the Belgian spanner. Well, what do you mean, a Belgian spanner? That's what we call a barman. There's no descriptive term in the words at all. Sure isn't. There's no descriptive terms at all.
And it's like, just out of curiosity,
I
have you
need a
found...
carpenter. A carpenter? I don't know where you get one of them. I know where you get a wooden pooper, though. There's one of those. He just lives up the road there.
Is there any job that still exists that had a different name back then? I'm assuming, along with these names, the jobs they did have completely gone out of...
They're gone out, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, my God, it would be fantastic to find something that's still a current job that you could apply the old name to.
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Like you say, being able to call a carpenter or a...
Yeah, even just nowadays going, how's your young lad getting on? Oh, it's great, yeah. He's after getting into college there. 5 years, gonna try and get his masters in piffle puffers.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.